Hi, my name is Ayushmaan Mukherjee, and this is my Rabbitholeathon presentation for AlphaX, Political Power Comes from the Bottom Up. Let's get into it. So, three things that we commonly hear about politics is that 1, teenagers aren't experienced or educated enough to incite political change, 2, that social media isn't as reliable or trustworthy as the traditional means of change, and 3, that government action is the most effective means of political change. However, on the contrary, an analysis reveals that teenagers are not only motivated and aware enough to drive grassroots political change, but the use of social media and the internet can make them more effective than the traditional means used by adults. But firstly, what even is politics? David Pavlou, a PhD candidate in law at the University of Basel, stresses in his TED Talk that politics is more than, quote, a man in a suit talking about taxes. Instead, it's what happens in our neighborhood, in our country, and in the world, what we think is fair and what is not. This means that it affects everyone and has an immense scope. Anyone capable of affecting the public debate over societal issues is affecting politics. And what we're seeing is that teens are more motivated to participate in these issues. According to an article in the journal Youth Studies, adolescents highly identified with certain citizen movements and perceived their issues as relevant. An especially inspiring example of this would be that of Greta Thunberg. According to BBC.com, at the age of 15, she launched climate protests, starting a global movement, and she even ended up giving speeches at the UN and becoming Time Person of the Year. However, firstly, a limitation must be acknowledged. According to a study from the journal Political Science and Politics, teenagers score lower on average on political knowledge tests than adults. However, all this means is that we need better political education, whether it be in school or in out-of-school organizations, as according to a journal study by David Campbell, political scientist and professor at the University of Notre Dame, civics instruction has a positive impact on adolescent civic knowledge and appreciation of political conflict. All the other evidence suggests that, when given a chance, teens will work to change their society for the better, which means that they must be given that chance through political education. Moreover, social media is what will be the means of that change, as it allows it to become more accessible, with statistics noting that there were over 314 million users of social media in the US last year, with the number only expected to grow, as you can see on the graph. Moreover, over 60% of Gen Zers report getting their news at least once a week from social media. This is important because, according to the Polish Academy of Social Sciences and Humanities, social media provides an avenue for more citizens' participation in government activities. This points to the idea that social media's immense potential can be harnessed for grassroots change. Now, many may disagree with the idea of grassroots change, citing the power of legal and legislative change, for example, through top-down government legislation on issues like climate change. However, these are ineffective if society does not fully back them. Grassroots change, on the other hand, especially among the youth, is effective because it fundamentally reshapes the fabric of society. A Science Direct article agrees that grassroots initiatives can become role models for societal change. Overall, as I said, social media is what will allow teenagers to achieve this grassroots change. An article in the Social Science Computer Review corroborates by recalling the impactful 2008 candlelight protests in Korea, which were led primarily by high school and college students and which ended up changing government policy. Therefore, despite its flaws, the future of political change lies in grassroots youth movements mobilized with social media. Thank you for listening, and here are my works cited.